they broke a leg, and it healed back. How that does sometimes improperly, or he was disfigured his face because of the stoning. Uh, it was healed, but the disfigurement may have still been there. And so with that, uh, and when verse 21, and when they had preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra and to Iconium and Antioch, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God. If you are following the map, you will notice that Derbe is the pivotal point. It is the end of the line. At this point, they turn back and retrace their steps through Lystra, Iconium, and Antioch. It's actually the other Antioch. It's Antioch that's in Galatia. And so, as in for the name of it, but the one of the things that strikes my mind now, he was stoned, and so to heal to the emotional and the trauma of being stoned to death, being put to death in that manner, it is maybe why that he goes back to the actual Antioch and the disciples here is, and we often don't see that. The reason that we get together in a church setting is to heal, to from the week of missionary work that we've been doing. We don't see it as that, but that's by and large what the church is supposed to be all about. But we don't make it that anymore, and it should be. Verse 23, and when they had ordained them elders in every church and had prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, on whom they believed. That's verse 23. He skips verses 24 and 25 here, but I'm going to pull that up and read it. Verse 24, and after going through, he doesn't in the radio message, he does read verse 24 and 25, but in the commentary, 24 and 25 are not written here. Just completely skips over. After going through Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia, and when they had preached the word in Perga, they went down to Italia. They returned from Pisidia, and Amphilia, and preach again in Pergia. Then they go to Antilia and sail from that part back to Antioch. So I'm not sure he read it, because actually that's basically what the verse says. But anyway, verses 26, and then sailed to Antioch, from whence they had been commanded to the grace of God for the work which they fulfilled. And when they were come and had gathered the church together, they rehearsed all that God had done with them, and how he had opened the door of faith unto the Gentiles. And there they abode long time with the disciples. Paul and Barnabas returned to Antioch to give a report of the work, because this is the church that had sent them out. They revealed that God had now definitely opened the door of the gospel to Gentiles. When the gospel starts out, the churches were comprised entirely of Hebrews. Then they became partially Gentile, and now the gospel is going definitely to the Gentiles. Now the church in Asia Minor, the churches in Asia Minor are comprised entirely of Gentiles, although there may also have been some Jews in these churches. It seems that in most places the Jews rejected the gospel,